YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Movie Zone with me, your host Jonathan, aka the Doctor Movies, and it's here. It is finally here. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Oh my God, this movie's freaking awesome. Okay, you gotta first know that. Oh my God, I have to really talk about this. I'm gonna give my couple of things here. A short video here, but why I like this movie so much. I'm gonna do a full, first time ever, spoiler review of this movie next week, or maybe after Christmas. I'm not sure yet, but oh my God, this movie is awesome. First of all, the cast was great. You have Adam Driver, who plays Kylo Ren. I'll get to each character. You have Daisy Ridley, Rey. You have John Boyega, Finn. Oscar Isaac, Poe Dameron, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, Han Solo, Princess Leia, or in this case General Leia, and of course Han Solo himself and Chewbacca, C-3PO, BB-8. This movie, R2-D2. This movie is crazy. Okay, first of all, let me talk about why this movie is awesome, and so many different levels here. This movie reminded me a lot of Episode 4. Now, the story, if you don't know the story, the synopsis was kind of, similar to Episode 4, where you meet this character. His name is Finn. He was a stormtrooper. Not much of a spoiler here because it was in the trailer. You couldn't got that off, from the trailer. You see him in uniform, and something happens where he decides, I can't do this anymore. So he goes off to his own adventure. He meets this character named Rey, Anyway, they go on their adventure. Apparently, this robot, aka BB-8, has information of where Luke Skywalker, and now the new Empire, who they call themselves the First Order, they are looking for Luke Skywalker for some reason. Maybe because they want revenge for what happened in Episode 6. And don't forget, this movie takes place 30 years later. So everything's different. Oh my God, the stormtroopers. I'll get to those in a minute. So basically, this is basically a story, same kind of thing. You know how like in the original Episode 4, R2-D2 had the Death Star plans and had to get it to the Rebels, or in this case the New Resistance, because that's what they call themselves now. So it's like that. It works. It took me back to Star Wars once again, from the music. John Williams, he's back. The music is back. That's all. I was like, wow. Let's talk about the characters though, because honestly, there was so many new characters there, and we weren't sure if they were gonna be good, bad, secondary, whatever. They're all awesome in so many different ways. Some of them a little bit weaker than others, but yet they awesome. Still works. Let me start with Finn. Finn, he starts off as this cold-blooded stormtrooper. Then something happens. I'm not gonna explain what happens. Then he turns into this force that wants to become something else. He worked. I loved John Boyega a lot. He was awesome. He was funny. He was brave. He was everything. He reminded me of what Han Solo was in the original Star Wars, and when he first came to meet Luke and Leia and all that stuff. He reminded me a lot about him. Brave. He knew what he wanted to do. He was very smart because he had information. Because he was a stormtrooper, so he's using his information that he had from the bad stuff for good stuff now. So another character we have, Daisy Ridley plays Rey. Now Rey, she's just a average girl scavenger. So if you don't know what a scavenger is, she's one of those people who collects like items, try to sell them off, do things like that. Like how those people in like TV, they go to junkyards and they find the rare items and try to sell them. She's like that. Then she gets into this mix-up with all the First Order stuff, and then her world turns upside down. It's ridiculous. But yeah, she was awesome in this movie. She kicked so much ass. That's why I wanted in a woman in any kind of movie. They need to learn, not be, oh, help me, have the handsome guy protect me, please help me. No, she's like, I don't need a guy. I'll do this myself. That's what she was. She was awesome. Okay, even when she worked with Finn in the movie, they were a good couple. Not boyfriend and girlfriend kind of thing, but they were like good tag team. They reminded me of a lot of Han and Chewie together. The new guys. It worked. One problem I had with this movie before I even saw this movie was Paul Dameron, played by Oscar Isaac. I thought he was gonna be one of these characters that was gonna be like, because he wasn't shown in the trailer too much. Dude was badass, man. This guy was on so many levels. He reminded me of Luke Skywalker with all that piloting stuff. He's a pilot. That's all I'm gonna say to you. But man, can this guy fly? Whew. Man, if I need a new pilot, if I need a pilot, I'm calling him, because honestly, he'll be the first guy to get me out of that whole First Order crap. Because honestly, this guy is just rocks. I was so scared for him in the movie when I first saw it. Never mind. Again, I want him back in the next one. I hope so. Let's see what happens. But yeah. And then of course you have Han Solo and Chewbacca, and it looks like, when you watch them come to the movie, it feels like they never left, I mean, Harrison Ford, he's like almost maybe 80, I'm not too sure how old he is. He plays Indiana Jones, the fourth one you can talk about if it was bad or good, or how he didn't feel like Indiana Jones, but in this he feels like feels like Han Solo again. The man who just shoots first and don't even ask questions. That's how awesome he is. And Chewbacca looks great. Either the dude doesn't age or what. But yeah, man, Han Solo is the man in this movie. Whew, I love it. It's great. Then you have the new character, the new droid, the new R2D2 C3PO character, BB-8. Now we all knew they were gonna be this character was gonna be just for the toys and all the merchandise. He rocks. He's so funny. Just by looking at his expression, how he moves his head and body around, you could tell what he's saying, but it's just awesome. He doesn't speak like robot words like C-3PO, but he talks with his body motions, and it works. He's hilarious. I think I like him a lot. He's that new guy that's gonna hang around with C-3PO and R2D2 and still be like, you know what? I may be small, but at least I'm cooler than you two. And yep, C-3PO, wow. And R2D2, you can't give it to those two. Those two guys are the best, And then you have Kylo Ren, played by Adam Driver. Holy crap, this guy makes Darth Maul, the Emperor, and of course even I hate to say this, he makes Darth Vader look like a nobody. You take away the prequels, you put Kylo Ren in those prequels, he will kill all of them. I don't care how powerful Anakin was in the prequels, he will kill him. Now, honestly, in this movie, they showed something in the trailer, they showed Darth Vader's helmet. There are some things there, you have to watch it to know about it. I want to tell you, but I'm not going to tell you because you have to watch it for yourself, but he's so powerful. But yet he feels his own character, They're not trying to make him copy Vader. I like what J.J. Abrams did with him. He made him, by the way, he's the director of the movie. He made him his own character. He made him his own background, his why he's like that. You figure that out in the movie. And then, he has layers to himself. You can't tell if he's good, bad, both. What's his motivation? You know what he wants. But does he know what he wants? That's the question. And then you meet the new bad guy. The new, emperor of this movie. Commander Snoke. Or, Grand Snoke. You don't see him in the movie, but you hear him talk. He's played by Andy Serkis, by the way. Wow, this guy looks cool. I want to see some more of him. Might be in the next ones. But when you hear about him, he's awesome. And you don't see him, Oh, I can't explain it to you. I don't want to explain it to you. I don't. You have to watch it for yourself to understand. But yeah, he works. It was great to see a new dark force in this movie. My mind's still like even the. Okay, now I can talk about it. The stormtroopers in this movie. Wow, they can shoot. That was the one worry I had about this. Are they gonna make the stormtroopers worse than they were in the original movie? Honestly, one of the main problems I always have with the original ones, the stormtroopers never shot right. They couldn't shoot a moving target if it was right in front of them, honestly. These guys ain't no pushovers, man. These guys know how to kill. That's their job. They are killing machines. Either they replace them with robots or something. I don't know what happened with these new stormtroopers. The first order stormtroopers. They work. It was great. I love it. What else can I say about this movie? The music was great. The TIE Fighters, the Millennium Falcon looks great. You figured after 30 years that they would have been out of commission. You figure Han Solo would have got a new ride. That thing's still kicking butt. But yeah, this movie rocks in so many different ways. I really want to talk about it more. Like I said, I'll do a spoiler review about this. Probably after Christmas. And after New Year's, of course. So I'm going to wait a little bit. A lot of people are going to go see this. And a lot of people can't. Because a lot of people are trying to... this movie's probably going to be sold out like crazy. So I'm going to wait a couple of weeks. And then I'm going to do a full spoiler review. So, if I had it graded now... I really thought about this coming home. I really thought about this. I had no problems with this movie at all. I really had no problems with this. I mean, I might review it again next year. Might have little problems here and there. But right now, I can't think of one problem with this movie I'm giving this movie... I wasn't going to give it a 10, but you know what? This movie deserves a higher grade than that. I can go higher than this. For the first time ever, I'm doing an 11. This movie is an 11. Like, holy crap. I still have goosebumps. Even from the opening scene. And I saw this movie in 3D too. I'm not much of a 3D person. But, I had no choice because the tickets was only 3D available at the time. So, and the 3D was not bad at all. If you're not a fan of 3D, you can go still have fun watching the 2D. But if you're a fan of 3D, the 3D works. 3D works. It looks great in 3D. Doesn't look kind of, out of place. They even have not motion capture. They had, puppets again, like how they did in the original ones. And mixed with CGI, and that worked great too. It was just, the world, it felt like watching Star Wars again. This movie just erased the prequels in my mind. I don't even give a damn about the prequels anymore. From now on, it's episodes 4, 5, 6, 7. That's all it is. Now, like I said, probably when I do the spoiler review, I will give you which is my favorite. I can't decide right now. But right now, this movie's... It's tied with Empire Strikes Back, but who knows? Maybe even 8 might even blow all of them out of the water. I don't even know, because this movie is just awesome. I highly recommend you go see this. If you can't see it this weekend, don't worry. It's still going to be playing. You know what? Go see it when you get a chance. And I thank you. Let me know, have you already seen the movie? What did you think about it? Leave a comment below and let's talk about it. And of course, enjoy the rest of your holiday. And I'll see you back in the new year.